Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. We are in studio today at Record ATX, and today we have just a gem of a human, somebody who's taught a couple of our kids, right?
Thank God.
She is a staple at the school that I worked at for 30 years, and she's been there now, I think, 30 years.
Are you at 30?
Just about. I just finished my 28th year teaching.
Oh, my land.
And then I also taught an intern, so technically my 29th year.
Oh, my
There
land.
you go. There you go.
And I have to gush a little bit.
Oh, I think this is going to be a gush.
This is going to be a love fest.
Definitely.
Stacey Shapiro's in the house.
Yes.
Stacey taught culture. And Stacey is one of those teachers that, and I don't even know if you're aware of this, but like your way of teaching meets the kids where they are in such a systematic way. It's like ABA.
Yeah.
In a classroom beautifully.
Yes.
Beautifully. These are the expectations. This is life. Let's learn these. And it didn't change. And that was so beautiful and calming for Coulter.
Yes.
I think it was his calmest year for his neuro, that you were so friggin' consistent.
Yes.
And that is such a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
And it was such a beautiful gift to him. I mean, I really felt like we could dial back some of his external support that year because it was such a safe, consistent place.
Well, you teach a lot of like life skills mixed in with pushing people to their highest level of potential.
Agreed.
So,
thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
Oh my
All right.
gosh. Who is
first
Stacey
off,
Shapiro? Where are you from? What's going on?
Who is Stacey Shapiro?
Yes.
All right, what is your sign? Because I'm fascinated by this.
Really? So my sign, I am a Capricorn, but I was born 6 weeks early. I was a preemie.
Okay.
So I was supposed to be a Sagittarius.
Okay.
So I don't think that I have a lot of the same the qualities of a Capricorn. I don't think it fits me.
Yeah.
So
And
but
you
technically
were a preemie.
I was a preemie.
Okay.
I was supposed to be born in mid-January. And I was born December 23rd.
Oh, December 23rd.
Yes.
Oh, my lands.
Interesting.
Oh, my gosh. And where were you born?
I was born in Toronto.
Okay.
So I'm Canadian.
Yes.
And I became a dual citizen 2013.
Okay. This
June
is new
2013.
news for me.
Mhm.
I knew.
Yeah.
I was like,
So that year for Halloween, I was the Statue of Liberty.
So cute.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, it does say as a Capricorn, they're highly responsible, patient, independent, fiercely loyal to their inner circle.
Okay. So
You can be overly serious, stubborn, and guarded.
okay.
You tend to put immense pressure on yourself. Do you feel that?
I don't know about the pressure. I mean, I definitely have the high expectations for myself, as I do for others. And I know I'm a huge goal setter, whether it be with work, with running, just within my life.
Oh.
And then just trying to achieve those goals. But I don't think like I put myself against other people.
No.
But it's more like myself.
Exactly.
But
I don't think it was pressure. It was like, I don't think I don't feel
think
pressure.
it would be pressure.
Yeah.
I think
You're
that
you're becoming the best version of you.
Yeah.
That is yours. Yeah.
I was also looking up the Sagittarius, right? You were born a
Yes.
Capricorn, but you were Sagittarius. And then the Sagittarius, I'm like, you might resonate more with that. Truth seeker, constantly moving from one philosophy or experience to the next, understanding how the world works. You're an extrovert with nature. You love to be outdoors. You love and you love your friend groups, and you love your honesty.
You're the combo.
And you have a very strong moral compass.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Yes,
Agreed.
I would
agreed.
say
agreed.
that.
Yes.
So you may
It's a
have
bit of
fallen
both.
in between, right?
You're a combo.
I'll
You're
take
the
it.
combo package.
I'll take it.
So
Interesting.
Canada.
Yes.
And you have one sibling.
I do. I have one brother.
And you're very close.
Very close. Very close.
And where does he live?
He lives in Arizona.
Okay.
So we moved from Toronto to Arizona right before I started kindergarten.
Okay.
And then, but I'd go back every summer to Toronto. So I went to overnight camp, all the movies, the sleepaway camp. So I did that for many, many years. It's, I think, 13 years.
And are your parents, what are your parents like?
So my mom passed about 3.5 years ago.
Yes, I remember that.
And, but she was always doing something, and very outdoorsy, very goal setting. She was her last few years real into pickleball. And before that, she was into jazzercise.
Okay.
So I felt like my Orange Theory was her jazzercise. So she was always doing something. She'd always say, if either she lived here, if I lived there, I would get her running. And I'm like, well, you could I could help you find a group and you could join. But she would always, I think we're very similar. My dad is very creative. He's an architect.
Okay.
And he's in Phoenix and Scottsdale, and he's I guess he was definitely more athletic when he was younger with my mom, but he's definitely more chill, and so we can just sit together just for hours, read books. Like when we were little and go on vacation, I would be happy as a clam just sitting with a book by the beach, especially once college started.
Yes.
That's all I needed. I needed to relax because I was always go, and so busy. But my mom would still be go. My favorite story is one of the family cruises we went on, and I think I was either a freshman or a sophomore in college, and we went on a cruise over winter break. And so every time you did something active, you would get a ticket. And by the end of the week, you exchange your tickets for a T-shirt. So you needed 10 tickets to get a T-shirt. So I had my 10 tickets. We played anything.
You probably
from
had 30.
My mother had 30.
Okay.
Yes. So she got 3 shirts, but I got my shirt. So yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, my lands.
Oh, it sounds like you grew up in a really lovely.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
So lovely. And then we'd go back every summer. So I'd get to see, because all my relatives, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, I don't have too many cousins because there's not too many aunts or uncles and cousins, but I would go back every summer and be with them in Toronto.
Nice.
When I was at camp.
Yeah.
Oh.
So one thing I know about you is your faith is very important to you. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your
Sure.
faith?
I mean, I'm Jewish. And so growing up, we didn't go to temple on Friday nights, but we celebrate all the holidays. Like I taught Sunday school, all through high school. And I always had the youngest kids. So I did kindergarten when I was younger, just like at camp. I always had the youngest unit of girls. And so we always celebrated the holidays. So we're Reform. And then moving here, it was different because, we would we go to Friday night services. But I was so tired at the end of the week.
Yes.
So as I got older, as teaching went on, I think, for me, yes, I'm Jewish. I enjoy the holidays, more like the traditions, the things I would do with family. But I didn't go to Friday night as much, anymore. But we always say when we run and do our long runs, like on Saturday, it's the church of the long run.
Yes.
So I felt like I still celebrated, I was with other, people of all religions. But my grandma is 101. My mom's still living. So I call her, every Sunday. My brother and I try to go visit her a couple times a year.
Oh.
So we're going to go see her at the end of summer.
Is she in Toronto?
She's in Toronto.
Okay.
And so she always asks, my friends, are they Jewish? And what are you doing? I said, well, some of my friends are, I celebrated this, this holiday by running with my friends.
Yes.
And, one of my good friends, we call our group that I run with through Rogue, we call it our teamily, because we're a team and we're a family.
Oh.
So we're there for each other for anything.
I love that.
And so one of my dear friends, who's a little older than I am, will invite me to her house for any of the holidays just to celebrate with her family.
I love
That's
So I do love
lovely.
that. And then growing up at camp, it was really neat. My camp, it's the first, I want to say, co-ed camp in North America.
Okay.
So my grandpa went there. My mom and my aunt went there. And so what happened was that they started off as a Jewish camp because what they did was they took like the radius around in camp. It's north of Toronto, several hours. And they guess they got the temple directories. And they called the parents and said, oh, Mrs. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so is sending their child to camp. Do you want to send your child? And so they started off Jewish. And so the only thing they did as I was growing up was we celebrated for Friday night. We just said the blessings. So we would have people all over the world would come. And so, yes, it was founded as Jewish. And a lot of my friends are Jewish that go there. But I mean, we had people from Mexico and from Japan one summer. So it was nice. Like it didn't matter what your background was.
May I ask what the name of the camp is?
My camp is called Erewhon.
Okay.
And it's still going strong. I know all the buildings are
good.
different from when I was there. They just celebrated their 90th reunion anniversary. So I went for the 75th, and I said I'll go back for the 100th.
Oh, how
So because it's always in
lovely.
October.
Oh, how lovely.
Wow. What an
Wow.
impression
Yes.
it made on you.
Oh, yes. Well, my grandpa was there the first year.
yes.
I think he was a counselor the first year. And since, I don't have any sisters, I learned so much at camp besides, sailing and windsurfing and canoeing. I learned how to shave my legs and, all those things
Yes.
that, you're
You learn at
around.
camp.
Exactly.
How to kiss a pillow. Yes.
Probably. That's so cute.
All those fun things.
But I
all the
definitely
fun
think
things.
that molded me too with outdoors and
Yes.
gave me, because, I didn't run all my life. I didn't start running until my 30s.
Mhm.
But I always enjoyed being outdoors and being active.
Yeah. What you say is 30 miles north of Toronto? Is that?
No, a couple of hours.
Okay.
Maybe.
What's the name of the?
So it's in Algonquin Park.
Okay.
And I want to say maybe 3 hours north of Toronto.
How lovely.
So yeah, there's been a couple of
Did you get
movies.
snow during the winter?
Oh no,
Okay.
no snow.
I mean, during the summer.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Oh, during the winter, absolutely. Snow, no, but it was interesting. I'm sure with global warming now, but since I went to camp from 1984 to 94, and so when I would go, you would have I would bring everything from tank tops and shorts to wool sweaters
Yes.
and long johns,
Yes.
in August.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that was my taste of winter. Just because in
Exactly.
Arizona, we didn't.
all heat. Right?
All
Mhm.
heat.
Yeah.
And what part of Arizona? Tucson?
I grew up in Scottsdale.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
it's Scottsdale.
And then I went to school in Tucson. I went to University of Arizona
Okay.
for undergrad,
Okay.
and then came here for grad school.
And, okay. You
So
came
that
to
came to UT.
UT.
So that's what got me here. And then I interned and student taught at Zolker
Yeah.
during while I was getting my teaching certificate.
Who did you student teacher?
So I student taught for Lori. Oh my gosh. Lori Rogers.
Lori Rogers.
So I student taught first grade for Lori Rogers.
Okay.
I interned for Rachel Davila in early childhood special ed.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
I was getting my master's in early childhood special ed.
Uh-huh.
And it was funny because all of my placements had been in early childhood special ed, PPCD. And I remember filling out the form saying I would take anything except for PPCD. At the time, I wanted to do class within a class or resource or something different. And then I found out that I was placed in PPCD. And I truly believe everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
And so when they told me, I said, well, this wasn't what I requested. They said, well, but you have the place. It's at Zolker. We think you'd be a perfect fit. And then...
And Ramona's like, just do it.
Yeah, well, no, I hadn't met Ramona yet because, this was even before we started.
Yeah.
And, everything. I loved everything about it. And, of course, I applied, or she asked me to stay. I said, absolutely.
Yes.
And she said, most likely we'll have a PPCD position open. But I had to wait for like through summer because I guess the district, we were applying for a reading resource position.
Yes.
So the person slotted for PPCD didn't want it, but she was the last one hired.
Yeah.
And so if we got the reading specialist, then the second grade teacher would go to reading. The woman that was slated for PPCD would get to go to second. And then I went to PPCD. So I had to wait till like the end of July when finally everything was passed and went through.
How long did you do PPCD? I can't
So
imagine you
I
doing
did
a
PPCD. I only did it for 2 years.
Okay.
Now I would definitely have done it longer. But at the time, I knew I wanted to teach kindergarten. I figured that was the position for me. And at Zolker, the people that had taught kindergarten that weren't bilingual were there for 20, 30 plus
they were
years.
leaving.
So it just so happened after teaching PPCD for 2 years, Miss Matthews retired, Ann Matthews. And so I knew that now was my chance to go to kinder. So I brought all of my PPCD kids, my special ed, my teachers' kids, I brought them all with me to kinder.
Yes.
And then I stayed in kinder, taught kinder for 5 years, had a very challenging class. And by that time, my closest friends had either retired or they hadn't gone to different grade levels. So I remember having to ask, I said, you know what? I would love to keep these kids for one more year. I'd love to loop. And I did all my research. I want to bring them to first grade. And at the time, it wasn't Brennan, or it was Bren McCullough. It wasn't Ramona anymore. And she said, you're going to love first grade. I'm like, no. I'm a kindergarten teacher teaching first grade. I want to be able to go back to kinder after. So go to first grade. Loved it.
Yeah.
So had to say, you were right, I was wrong. Can I please stay in first grade?
Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love first grade. First grade is so hard because you do have the kids that don't know their letters and sounds.
Yes.
You have kids that might not have been in school before because kindergarten's not mandatory in the state of Texas. And then you have kids that are reading chapter books.
Yes.
Exactly. So, I mean, I definitely love a good challenge, and I love training the parents.
Yeah.
Like that was one thing I loved about kindergarten was getting the parents involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I figured I can do that in first grade too.
Yes.
And you did a great job with that.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I love that you're
both
saying,
of them.
I love that you're saying train the parents because you did. It's like, yes, you can participate in school this way.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to come in and run this classroom. You're not going to come and do this.
Well,
you can make these copies over there.
Yeah.
And you can cut and do, which was so important for us to learn.
Well, I think you were so good and you're still so good about like, hey, this is a team project. We are
Yes.
all in this together. And if the more we can do, if more hands make less work.
Yes.
So I think it was a very smart thing. Like you always had these bins like, hey, if you want to take this home, if you want to be home in front of your TV or whatever, you can cut this. Or if you want to do a snack pack or whatever, or if you want to do the copies, or if you want to help us with PTA, or if you want to help us with like raising money or doing the tie-dye shirts or whatever, you always had like a way where every parent had a spot in like a way to help
It was a
the
community.
team.
It was a
It was a
community.
community.
Well, I also want to make sure that I want to give everyone who wants to help an opportunity because not everyone can go buy something off a wish list.
Exactly.
Or they might not have
Absolutely.
time to cut and prepare.
Exactly.
So I always make sure to have a little bit of everything,
No, it's-
whether it be tearing pages out of the workbooks or, collating something or purchasing something or coming in to help. So,
I mean,
Well, one other thing that I really have always admired you on is that you weren't like just educating the kids at Zolker. You had a lot of other opportunities for like outreach in different companies. So you really maximized your skill level by connecting with like
other educators.
You were a trainer. You were also like with different companies. Tell us how you got in contact with all these different companies. Because I think teachers think, oh, I'm just in the classroom. This is my only way of making, some money. But I feel like you really were the forefront of maximizing it. You would get grants. You would you definitely are in the forefront of that. How did you know to do all of the extra stuff that you did?
So I think there's at least two or three questions in there.
Yes.
But
For sure.
I think first I started with what makes me happy. What else do I enjoy doing? And what else am I already doing? So, that was with Rogue, with my running group. And, I started off with the triathlon group and then made friends through there. And I had friends there. Hey, how can I help you? So finding out like through my friends from there, like one works at Dell. And so with Dell, they have like she would donate $20 from her paycheck and Dell would match it. And anytime she'd volunteer in my classroom, she would get credit for volunteering. But then Dell would send a gift card for me to use at Donors Choose.
Right.
So it was so wonderful. Like, I'm so thankful for my good friend Emily, because if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have half the things that I have in my classroom. Just honestly, just trying things like with Donors Choose. My first grant ever, I did write.
I think you were the first one to do Donors Choose.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, you
I
were.
looked it up. I actually was for when I had both of your kids. It was my bear books. Bring everything
Yes.
always ready. Now they're my dot
Oh my gosh,
books,
the bear
dot
book.
binders, because but instead of me having to go buy
bear book.
a binder in the pocket,
We still have
everyone
ours.
loves them. So the whole reason why I started those was the year I looped. I had half my class. Oh, Cameron was in the class that I looped
Yes.
with. Oh, that bunch, about half the class went between two homes. And so a long, long time ago, definitely dating myself, yes, I could make extra copies of things, and everything was paper copies. It wasn't digital. But then it was just too much. And it was too much to remember who needs two copies. I need to make more copies. So I really researched that summer when I looped from kinder to first, what can I do to make sure that everyone knows what's going on? And of course, this was before emails and blogs. And so I looked it up. It was originally, they're called Moose Books, Management Organization System, something or other. And I found putting together a binder where it was your homework folder, your take-home folder, everything you need. And it also instilled responsibility among the kids because they had to bring it to school
and
every
the
day.
families.
Yes, and everything that you would need. And I have questions like the parents could ask the kids when you're reading to encourage comprehension skills. And, everything you can think of was all in one. But that was my very, very first Donors Choose. I mean, I think Donors Choose is such a great organization because, yes, if you know people who want to donate, you basically write a proposal. You have to go shopping at first with their catalogs, but they have Amazon. So really you can find everything you need. And then, but what I love is other people will donate. So some people
From all over the world.
all over the world. I had one
Especially
year.
when they see somebody doing something so effectively, they're like, I mean, I've donated to France. I mean,
Yes,
just like, I
yes.
love what you're doing here. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, and here's $20 for that.
And it makes such a big difference. And then especially and then sometimes big corporations will double
Model.
whatever your
Yep.
donation is. But like I've had people that will put like notes, oh, I went to Zilker in 1950 and wanted to give back. My favorite year, my favorite donor that I didn't know was Mr. Thompson was our principal. And I had a social studies proposal up at the time. And one donor funded the whole thing. And then he actually wrote a note and he came to the school. So he was a student of Mr. Thompson's when he was a classroom teacher. And he was then later, he was a grant writer, he was a speech writer for Obama. And he wanted to give back to any of his former teachers. So I guess he had done a search and he couldn't find as many teachers he wanted to. But as soon as he put in Randy Thompson, Zilker popped up. And I was the only one at the time that had a proposal. So he fully funded my social studies proposal.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's so neat when someone does that. So I started off with Donors Choose. I started off, with Junior League of Austin.
Yes.
They don't do individual grants like that anymore. But I remember Miss Lugo was teaching. I was teaching first kindergarten with Miss Lugo and Miss Roden.
Yes.
So the three of us were
Oh,
teaching.
my
And one of my first, it was amazing. I learned so much from the two of them.
Well, they learned a lot from
Oh
you.
my gosh, it was amazing. And I wrote a grant. I wrote two. I remember two of them were funded. One was for my Scientist of the Week, which I still do now.
You still do, and I loved it.
Just encouraging science and then getting up in front of the class and doing an
Yes.
experiment. And the other one was for holidays around the world. It was the first one that I wrote so that we could all get materials for all. It was only 3 kinder teachers at the time, but it wasn't just Christmas or just Christmas and Hanukkah, but we got stuff for La Posada and Diwali and books and hands-on materials.
Yes.
And that was one of those are the first 2 grants. But I learned that I wrote many that I didn't get.
Yeah.
And so what I learned was if you write a grant, you could still take all that information and use it and try it again the next year. Or instead of writing for, $10,000, here, let's just write a partial one.
Yeah.
And then really just looking to see what's out there. And I definitely have had more luck with more local grants. Then I guess, I've done a couple of, they don't do it anymore, but Target used to have a field trip grant.
Yeah.
So that's what got us to Sweetberry Farm the first time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you still do A+
Culture went to
federal.
Sweetberry with you.
I've been so fortunate for A+ Federal Credit Union.
Yes.
And they've increased their grants to $1,500, but now so many people will apply for them.
Yeah.
So it's definitely harder to get, but it's worth a shot. You have nothing to lose.
Agreed.
Just ask.
Just
It's
ask.
such a great, beautiful skill. I mean, you can go anywhere with that skill set, 100%. But you also won the HEB.
I won the HEB Excellence in Education Awards. I
Yes.
won for the state of Texas for leadership.
Yes.
I did
Well
that.
deserved.
Thank you very
Well
much.
deserved.
Thank you very much.
I think it's so important for people to hear that teaching does not end at 3:30.
Oh my
All
gosh.
all of this, all of
No.
this.
If you're just hearing this.
Yes. Well, but a lot of people think, they work from 7 to 3.
You have your summers
and then they
off.
have your summers
Yeah,
off.
I love hearing
and it's
that.
like, but listen to all this grant writing, look at all this planning, look at all
Yeah.
this exciting.
There's a lot that goes into it.
I want
For
to tell you
sure.
the bear books. I have to go back to the bear book.
Okay.
It directly taught executive function.
Absolutely.
It does.
And it was
But it's a
so
great
well
communication
done.
device,
And
for
I
sure.
saw through, moving after middle school and high school and such, is that, the expectations got so loose that it was like, no, I want you to hold them to the Bear Book standard. I mean, I want the standard to be the expectation when something happens and you can't finish a project. That's one thing. But if you expect them never to finish a project until the end of the semester, they're never going to finish the project until the end of the semester.
And then that's
And
a
I
life
know there were
skill they're
times
never
where
gonna
we
learn.
messed up and we didn't sign the book on the day that it was supposed to be signed and stuff
And that's
like that.
okay.
And no, it's not okay. It made us the accountability was like what was needed. And it was like, this is so critical. And I'm so thankful that you allowed that and you made that such a mandatory requirement.
Well,
I think it
thank
was
you.
so important. Have you noticed a shift? Because I feel like it's a huge shift. It's like, no, you can't put that pressure on them anymore. And
Right. Well, so something like that with the BEAR book. So BEAR stands for Bring Everything Always Ready.
yes.
And so with that, it was really just training now being the responsible to bring things back.
yes.
And, I would never get mad at a child if a parent didn't sign something.
yes, of
And
course
I
not.
might remind them, hey, don't forget to let your mom and dad know or your family know.
Yes.
Double check your, please sign a return pocket. So, I think almost everyone is just so thankful for that.
Agreed.
Because, everyone's lives are so busy. And so, but knowing that, hey, I got to double check this.
Yes.
Some of them might not do it until the morning of, and that's fine too. Because I also, I plan ahead a lot. I'm a big planner. And so if I know something's coming up, I'm going to let them know, weeks, a month in advance.
Of course.
Because I want, we're talking about being involved. And so, like, for example, when we plan field trips, I try to make sure all the field trips are on a different day of the week in case someone has to work on certain days or can't get off on certain days. Or as soon as I have a date for something, I'm going to let the families know so that if they do need time to rearrange. So I'm going to give them at least, 3-4 weeks so
At
that they can
least.
come as well.
At least, you have it for the whole year.
A lot of things. things, yes. But I've also learned over the years to be a little bit more laid back.
Yes.
My big thing, I just made a new poster. I love it. Mistakes are proof you're trying.
Yes.
And we can do hard things. So, yeah, it's okay to make a mistake. But so what are we going to do? How are we going to fix it? Let's be problem solvers.
Yes.
So that's, that's my big,
Oh,
big
it's
thing.
such a beautiful. I loved being in that class. I knew what the expectations were. I knew what,
And the kids did.
I
Your
know they
son
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And
Oh,
he thrived.
yes.
He thrived in there. And it was like, oh, yes, more of this. How do we keep these systems? The expectation, once he knows somebody will bend, then he took complete
Absolutely.
advantage
And who
of it.
wouldn't?
Yes.
Mhm.
So let's talk about your running. This has been so
Yes.
inspiring to watch, Stacey.
Oh my gosh. And it's been so fun progressing with the kids.
Yes.
So I was not a runner growing up. I was always very active, but I was not a runner at all. I was a swimmer, in high school and on. But I met through my grandma a very distant cousin, like twice removed or something. And we met years and years ago. My grandma had met her. Oh, would you like me to give her your number? No, Nana, I have enough friends. It's okay.
I'm
It's okay.
good.
Well, and then she'd run into her a couple years later. She's like, oh, I gave her your email address. So she reached out to me. So I've said, of course, let's get together. And she and her boyfriend at the time, now they've been, I think, married for 20 years, but boyfriend at the time, that she was going to start doing triathlon training. And I said, okay, I'll join you because I swim. I have no problem with open water swimming, but I need a group. And so that's how I found Rogue. And I started Rogue as an iron chick, as it was first try.
Amazing.
So I was a very first timer, and I was a walk runner when I first started.
Yes.
And I realized that was something I could get better at, was running. So in the off season, so when tri season was over, I then joined a novice group, so walk runners, and then a beginners, and just kind of went from there. So another thing that I love to travel. And at the time, and, coming here for grad school, I really didn't know anyone, don't have family here, and, I knew people from work. But as you know, I spend so much time at work and prepping for work. But then I started meeting people through my Rogue group. And then we started traveling and doing all different half marathons. I never at the time didn't go above a half marathon, but going and sharing a hotel room together. And it was so much fun meeting people, traveling. And I'm like, oh, my goal originally was to do maybe a half or a full marathon in all 50 states. And I knew, we'll see. It would take a while. And then I just kind of kept going, and then try training went, and I decided, the try really took a toll. I finally got up I did a half iron, and it was amazing. Went to New Orleans, did that, but it was so time consuming. So after that, I decided to train for a marathon. And
that was so time consuming.
Yeah,
so I'm going to double down.
But then it only had the running. So I kind of put the cycling.
I understand
I
what
was
you're
never
saying,
real
but
big on
wow.
cycling
Yeah.
and swimming on the back burner. So I kept running. And it took me 10 years to finally, I like to set goals for myself. So it took me 10 years to finally qualify and get to run the Boston Marathon.
Oh, wow.
So I, slowly started doing that. And so I got to run Boston, and New York and Chicago. And then I found out that there's the world marathons. And at the time when I was going through them, there were 6. Now there's 8. But so there were 6. So those 3, those were the domestic. And then there's Tokyo, Berlin, and London. So I figured I'd have to wait till I retired. Well, I guess it was 2023, we all put our names in the lottery for Tokyo. So I figured it was a slim to none chance. And they don't let you have to go onto the website. And so I went onto the website to find out if I got in. And it wasn't that clear. It didn't say, you're in. So I went to my little chat group with my running friends. I said, I think I might have gotten into Tokyo. And they said, well, what does it say? It says selected, not paid. They said, well, all of ours said not selected. So I got in to run the Tokyo Marathon for 2024. And so I had to tell Miss Pitts and Miss Hallmark, our assistant principal and principal at the time, that I was going to take off almost 2 weeks of school to go to Tokyo.
And it's worth it.
Oh my gosh.
Bravo you.
And I'm also I'm hardly ever absent. I'd rather
Exactly.
go to school and not feel great.
I know.
But I do have, I think at the time, 1,000 hours.
Yeah, you had plenty
so I need
of
to start
time.
using my hours.
Yes.
And so
You do.
Miss Pitts was wonderful. She's like, okay, we're going to make it work. We're going to make it happen. Miss Hallmark was like, how'd you get in? Because I think it was less than 1% of the people that put their name in got into the lottery. It was amazing. So, I mean, she was, of course, kidding.
Yeah,
but I worked all winter break, even though I didn't leave until the last week of February. But I had everything ready to go, all labeled and all color-coded.
Shelly, you have no idea.
Of course.
It was the most amazing experience.
I'm so glad
And,
you did it. And I'm so glad you didn't say, no, I can't.
Oh, gosh. Yes. I've learned a lot over the years.
Yeah.
And I've
You have to
learned
take
put
those
myself
opportunities.
First. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like, I can't wait to go back. It was so amazing. I was a little nervous because I've never gone that far by myself. When I got in, I basically said, how am I going to go to Tokyo? Well, one of my girlfriends that I run with, one of my team, Willie, she said that she was going with this group called Fitness International Travel, which I love. They were going with them she was going with them to London. And so for some of the races, they have entries, but they don't have entries for Tokyo. But they do all the lodging and they plan the shakeout run. And so that was my first experience with Fit. So I emailed, I said, literally minutes later, hi, my name is Stacey. I'm coming by myself from Austin. I just got into Tokyo. She's like, oh, we're opening up more rooms. We would love for you to come with us.
That's amazing.
And so I signed up for them. It was just like another family. Like I was so happy. The owner, she's her background's in teaching. She only taught for 1 year because she loved to run and travel.
Yeah.
So she started this travel business for runners.
I love
and she figured
it.
she could always go back to travel or to teaching later. So went to Tokyo, loved it. Then decided, okay, so if I did Tokyo this year and it worked, I have 2 more world majors to complete. So the next year we went as a girls' trip, and the next April I did London, and then I didn't get into the lottery. So you put your name in, same like with Tokyo, but with Fit they had entries, so I could pay for my entry with them.
Okay.
So I got to travel again with them. So I was so excited. And then finally, my 6th and final world major at the time, it's Berlin. So I went and did my marathon in April and then turned around and did a marathon in September.
Wow.
So went back with Fit. Some of my good friends went as well. And then my boyfriend also went, but he qualified because he's much faster. But so I finished my 6th. I got my world major medal and my Berlin medal. Now they've added Sydney, which is in August, but I definitely will wait. I need to heal my body a little bit. And they just added Cape Town. And they're trying to, and they will at some point add Shanghai.
Oh, my
So we'll see.
land.
I'm not quite sure. Just being on my feet all day for 30 years
Yeah.
and running. I'm not sure how many more marathons
But
I
you've
have left in me.
you've already
But I finished that. Yes.
Exactly.
So
Check,
I
check,
got
check.
my yes, and I would still love to finish my 50 states.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yes, but I could also do a 10K. Like I have,
Yes.
as I'm getting older, I have. It's okay with me.
Where are you? Where are you? Because I want to cheer you on.
Oh,
How many
thank
more
you.
states do?
So, yeah, I think I'm at about 30 states.
Okay.
And I'm at 26 marathons.
Okay.
So I'm okay through,
Wow.
now I'm at the point where if I do one each year, I can remember how many I've done. So I don't have to do another one until 2027.
So how do you keep your body in such incredible shape for the marathons? I know you train and you run, but how
Yeah,
do you
what's
make
your
sure that you don't have
self-care?
like
You're asking the wrong person.
well, I mean, you did say Orange Theory a little, or
Right.
you do
So
like
I love Orange Theory.
Mhm.
And for me, that was, I think, my turning point to get to qualify for Boston. Because you can run and run, but as you're getting older, you need that strength training too.
Mhm.
And I tried going to the gym, but for me, I'm definitely more a class person.
Yes.
And again, I can motivate myself. I love going to Orange Theory by school
Yeah.
because I get to see some of my former parents there. I got to work out with 2 of my former students.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so that's been so much fun. But definitely you need that balance of, of strength training, of stretching, definitely taking a day off. I'm going to physical therapy after this interview because, yes, I am pretty beat up as we speak. But that's okay. I'll get back to it. I would like to, I'm thinking to add swimming back in. because I think swimming is such a low impact on your body.
Absolutely.
I remember doing triathlon training, and even after like a race weekend, then going back in the pool, even for a workout, but I felt like I was definitely recovering because of, the lengthening, the stretching while you're swimming,
Yeah.
and then without that impact.
That's smart.
hmm
That's smart.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you've taught us about being an incredible educator.
Thank you.
You've taught us about being an incredible athlete. So what do you do when you're not like killing it on all of those arenas? Like what are you how do you like relax?
Yeah,
like
what's your
how like
exhale?
I know you love to travel, but how do you relax? Like
Well,
what do you do?
Honestly, when I'm running with my friends, my team elite, because it's not always like a hard workout.
No.
So even walk running with them, I have embraced this summer walking, and I'm really enjoying it. And just, it gives you time to chat with your friends and while you're walking. So when I was injured at the beginning of the summer and was told I couldn't do anything for a couple days, I sat and I crafted, and I made I made enough keychains for my students for the next. I guess I'm gonna have to keep teaching at least 3 more years because I made little keychains for all of them.
Yeah.
I love using the Cricut, and it's funny. Like I love making things. I don't necessarily like make things just for me. Someone was asking me about that recently. I know my Nana taught me many, many years ago to needlepoint. And I loved needlepointing, but that's not my style. And so like I would needlepoint, and I know like the pillow that I made is in my mom's house.
Yeah.
So I love being crafty. I love making things. But I also love doing things for other people.
Yes.
And then giving it to them after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love reading. I love reading, just for fun.
What are you reading? What does
Oh, my
Stacey Shapiro
goodness.
read? I'm
Well,
so. Let me
I
guess. Like
love-
talk to a theme. I know it really.
You're so sweet.
100%.
Honestly, I love. My brother tells me a lot of really good books, to read. So he is actually an assistant dean at Arizona State University. So he's
wow.
climbed up the ladder in residence life.
Oh wow.
So he's always read like, what are college kids reading?
yes.
And so he always tells me, or he'll buy a book and then I'll read it. Honestly, I'm just going through, and the newest book's coming out. Oh, it's already July. So
I
the newest
know.
book's, I think, coming out next week. The Inheritance Games. I love like mystery problem solving. Like I really enjoy a good escape room, just getting your brain working and things like that too. So, it just,
Something that kind of keeps your brain going.
yes, I got real into maybe historical fiction.
Me too. I love
Yes.
it.
And I've really enjoyed, honestly, I'll just read whatever pops up on
Yeah.
and like on my Amazon list, or here are the new reads for like the month.
Yeah.
And then I'll grab one.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
fun. Or
Yes.
like just going into Libby,
Yes.
like on the library app. I love that they're like, here's some recommendations. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take those. Yeah.
Yes. I like that. So I definitely more mystery, kind of younger, just for fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do a little YA? Like the youth?
Oh yeah, that more so. I would do that more than like a romance novel.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't usually do those.
Yeah.
And then like right now, it was funny because I was getting bored just walking, so I didn't even think about getting an audiobook.
Oh,
So I did, and honestly, I just did whatever audiobook was in Libby that was available.
exactly.
And so like right
Yes.
now, I'm finishing The Women.
Oh,
Yeah,
so good.
And
so
so I'm really
good.
enjoying that.
Oh my
so
gosh,
that's the
she's
type of book with
phenomenal.
those,
Yeah.
yes, that I
Yeah.
would read.
Kristen
so
Hanna
good.
is like,
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the first of hers that I've listened to her
We'll go
run.
back
Oh,
and
you'll
listen.
love
That's what I've
all.
heard. That's why
She's incredible.
one of my writing friends was like, that's the one you decided to start with? I'm like, well, I'm
Yeah,
enjoying it.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I'll definitely find
every
more.
single one of her. She's
Mhm.
I
just
know
hits
you're
it
a
out of the park.
super clean eater because I spied on you for years on what you were consuming because your body is sick.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
But what are some pro tips on being a teacher and how to eat healthy throughout the year? And then what are some indulgences that you have?
Sure. So for me, I mean, I look at something and I'll gain weight. So that's just, I think, my body and being, our height and
Yes.
like I know for me when I did my national boards and just sitting, I would work all day and then sit, and then I gained weight. And a lot of people lose their baby weight, and I was excited to lose my national board weight. When I started doing tri training. So for me, I have to meal prep. I'm also the type of person where I'm very routine with
Yes.
lots of things in my life.
Yeah.
But so I'm happy having the same thing for breakfast or for lunch or
Yeah.
for dinner. So I'll basically have the same things Monday through Friday or Monday through
Yeah.
Thursday.
Meal prep is how you do it in teaching.
Absolutely.
It's your
Absolutely.
lifesaver. It's going to keep you really
That's so brilliant.
fortified.
So so finding that balance, I went paleo for many, many years.
Yes.
And I think that was, for me, that was my turning point. I found out I was very lactose intolerant.
Mhm.
So I really tried to stay away from dairy.
Yeah.
Because it just, it
You eat
does not-
very clean.
I really try.
Because I've been spying because I am literally a Kravitz. So I watch what everybody eats all the time and I hone in on certain things for sure.
Yeah.
But I do think that the meal prep for teachers, it saves you money. It keeps you fortified and it keeps you healthy through the year because it's such a stressful job. A lot of people are like, oh, there's a cupcake over there, or there's some
There's
chips, or
always
there's
a
ice
cupcake over
cream,
there.
or
There's always
whatever.
a cupcake.
And they forget, like, well, it feels good for the moment, maybe, but then it's not going to make you feel good forever.
Right,
So,
Exactly.
a moment on the lips is a lifetime on the I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Eat what you want to eat.
Absolutely.
But I think what I'm saying is, like, it helps you feel better in the end so that you can do the run after.
No.
Or you can go for the walk.
When you protect the run, you protect the run.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like I'm not going to eat something that's going to make this run hard.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people will
Harder.
say, well, I run so I can eat. And I
Yes.
think it's the opposite. I
Agreed.
eat so that I can run.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that you don't have any carbs. And that's I've been having to find carbs that work for me. Eating enough protein is so important.
Yeah.
So like, for me, and then having the healthy fats. So I have like my avocado with eggs in the morning, but then I'll have like the veggies and, and things like that too. I just learned an Orange Theory at my like nutrition. I went to a nutrition talk last week. So I learned that you're supposed to have, yes, you need enough protein during the day, but you should be having clumps of protein. Like you should have 20 to 30 grams at once. So that's much more efficient and effective instead of just 8 here, 8 here, 8 here. So like I've tried to add a small protein shake with my breakfast so that at least I'm getting at least that 20 plus grams to start the day. And I've been doing that this week and I think it's
And you're
really
seeing a
paying off.
difference.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
And interesting because your body's processing it together instead of starting and stopping. It's starting and stopping.
Yeah. So I think it's
So
important to have enough protein in general.
Yes.
But it's even better to have it that way. And also don't wait until you're hungry because some people will starve and not eat till later. And that's when you see the cupcake and you're going to eat it.
Yeah.
So I know.
Kind of snack throughout the day.
Exactly. Snacking. I mean, we had breakfast. We had lunch last year at 10:40.
Yeah.
And so finding.
That's always every teacher's favorite.
Oh, my goodness. But then, I just had breakfast a little earlier. So I was
Yeah.
ready for lunch.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, by dismissal, I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
Or I'm eating in the afternoon when the kids are at art, music, or PE.
Yeah.
Definitely I'm having my snack, but I'm having some protein and some carbs.
Yeah.
So, yes, that meal prep is so helpful. And if you don't like having the same thing every day, you can meal prep different things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's been so helpful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is so important. I feel like this conversation needs to continue, Stacey, if you don't mind.
Yes,
Absolutely.
We can do quick check-ins throughout the year if you don't mind.
Sure.
would
We
love
feel like
that.
you need to have like
Your own podcast.
segment
Aw.
because I feel like I learned so much from you in observance, but also like you were somebody I could go to all the time and say, hey, what do you think about this kid? Or how would you manage this? Or this parent is really coming at me a little hard. Like, and you always had a good balance of like trying not to take it too personally, but also being extremely professional and supportive. So, one thing that I think is really hard, like people don't even think about it. Teachers are not just in a bubble. They feel like a bubble in their classroom.
I know.
But they have to work within a team. And how does that look? And how do you balance it?
Mm-hmm.
And what if there are different personalities that maybe they teach a little different than you, or
Agreed.
they don't show up the same way that you feel like people should show up?
Well,
Or,
the other side is that teaching, from what I've observed, and I feel it's all consuming. I mean, you're making bracelets during summer. I mean, it's all consuming, and there is life outside of it. I think you have found that and that balance and navigating all that. Our friend did not, and so, but
It took a lot on my. It took
Sure.
a toll on my body, and I see that with a lot of teachers. The minute that I was like, okay, this is going to be my last year, like my body completely, my brain changed, my body started to change. It just was like, okay, it's a release.
Well, and watching everybody like Ann Mitchell and
They-
Jackie Crow reverse age now.
Oh my gosh, I
It's
saw her
so-
actually yesterday. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. I'm like,
Fascinating.
you have held on to
Yeah.
your youthfulness.
You balanced
I'm like,
it.
how is it going to look when you retire?
I
Because you're
know.
going to even like age backwards even more.
I
You're going to be like,
know.
I don't know, but
little
to be
baby.
honest, I think the kids keep me young.
Yeah.
So I
Agreed.
definitely think that my students are getting older, but I'm not.
Yes.
But yeah, and again, I've learned so much over the years. And several years ago, yes, I would take things a lot more personally. And I think that's just something that luckily, as I've kept going, I've gotten better at, because
Yeah,
I
we
knew that
all
that was a
evolve,
weakness.
right?
Another thing too is I just met my new teammate, and it'll be her first year teaching. And I told her, I said, even though this will be my 29th year teaching, which is longer than she's been alive,
Yeah.
I'm willing to try something new. Yes, there are certain things that I will do that I do every year that I love doing, but I'm open for trying something new.
Absolutely.
And not everyone's always like that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I understand that we're all different. I've learned that over the years too, like with teammates. But everyone has something to offer.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Oh, I love
Oh
that.
my God. Thank you so much.
This is what I love about you. You have a constant learning
You're
spirit.
curious.
Thank you. Yeah.
In your running, in your crafting, in your relationships, in your teaching. And that is what it's about. Always stay curious. So
Always.
I love it.
oh my gosh, you
Come back
are
often.
a model. So
Sure.
thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to say Texas, Texas.
Yeehaw.